Have you ever felt that silent pain, that anguish lodged in your chest when love is there, but the words just won't come out? When the feelings are intense, but the silence between you is even more deafening. Maybe you've wondered if this love is real, if it still exists, or if it was all just a dream that never came to life. But today, I'm here to tell you that your guardian angel has a powerful message for you. If you're here, it's because this message is for you, and the answer you've been seeking is about to be revealed. From the very first moment, that connection stood out as something that went beyond the ordinary. It felt like you had finally found someone who truly understood you in a way no one else could. It was as if the universe had orchestrated every detail, bringing your paths together so naturally that the bond that formed quickly revealed itself to be special. Looking into this person's eyes was like seeing a reflection of yourself, someone who shared the same dreams, the same emotions, the same deepest desires. But over time, things began to change. It wasn't sudden, but gradually, something between you started to drift apart. Maybe it was a change in circumstances, a decision to follow a new path, or simply the passage of time, which inevitably brings its transformations. Whatever the specific reason, the fact is that the once constant and meaningful communication became increasingly rare. The conversations that once flowed naturally began to become sparse, and that closeness that you once cherished so much began to fade away. And it hurts even more because deep down, you know that what you had was rare. The connection you shared isn't something easily found out there. It was something deep, something that touched the soul. It wasn't just another relationship. From the start, you felt there was something special. That person, in many ways, reflected both your qualities and your flaws, like a mirror that showed you not only what you loved most about yourself, but also everything you still needed to learn to accept. There are things left unsaid, and this causes doubts to grow in the mind of someone going through this situation. You felt that openness to talk, that sensation that everything flows naturally, the words fit, the understanding is mutual, and the connection seems so strong. It's like you're in perfect harmony. But suddenly, after a few days, that feeling disappears. You start to struggle with even receiving a simple reply, something that becomes an unexpected barrier. This isn't new to you. In the past, communication between the two of you has always been a challenge, but it seemed like over time, that could change. Yet, contrary to your expectations, the situation has become even more evident. The other person wasn't fully available. It wasn't just about not responding to messages. It was as if they couldn't, or didn't want to, reciprocate the energy and love you were offering. This doesn't mean that the person wasn't emotionally involved. On the contrary, there was involvement, but perhaps unconsciously, without realizing the impact that their actions or lack of action were having. The connection between you seemed genuine, something that was born spontaneously, maybe through online conversations that quickly deepened. You felt a mutual attraction, a desire to be together, to share moments of pleasure, to get to know each other better. There was that feeling of instant familiarity, almost as if you had known each other in previous lives. This brought the idea that there was something special between you, something worth exploring. But the reality of your lives didn't make things easy. Despite this intense connection, each of your personal circumstances interfered in ways you may not have immediately realized. During these encounters, or even in online conversations, it was possible that other people were involved, creating a situation much more complicated than it seemed. This situation you're involved in is like a silent storm carrying immense tension. It's easy to understand why it's been so hard to set the ego aside and truly make room for honest and open communication. The problem is, it's not just the two of you involved. There are other energies at play, energies that make everything even more complicated. There are secrets, things that haven't been said, and these different influences only reinforce the feeling that this situation goes far beyond a simple disagreement between two people. There's something deeper, something that's not visible on the surface. The result of all this is a sense of mystery, that something important is being hidden. Someone here felt it was time to move on, even if it caused immense discomfort. Maybe this person thought, okay, this isn't working as it should. I don't like this distance that's come between us. It's hard to understand what you really mean, and I'm not sure if you understand what I'm trying to express. Are we still on the same page? You have this strong physical connection, an attraction that's impossible to ignore. It feels like you've known each other for centuries, as if you were mirrors of each other, reflecting both the beautiful and the darker, more complex parts of one another. Both of you know that this relationship is something special, something that doesn't happen every day. It's a unique bond, but at the same time, something seems out of place. And it's not just me saying this, you feel it too. Your intuition is telling you that something is wrong, that there are things you don't yet know, secrets from the past that still echo in the present. That feeling deep in your heart is trying to tell you that this story is more complex than it seems, that there's something deeper behind all of this, something that still needs to be uncovered. And maybe, to understand what's really going on, it's necessary to explore these issues more deeply, to listen to that inner voice that insists on saying there's more to this story than meets the eye. The situation between the two of you is still far from having a definitive ending. There's a connection, an almost palpable tension, and it's impossible to deny the deep desire that seems to transcend any distance between you. No matter where you are or what you're doing, the thought of this person never leaves your mind. There's a constant longing, a huge desire to be by their side, to share every moment, every little detail of your day, everything you're experiencing. It's frustrating not being able to simply pick up the phone and tell them about your day, to share those simple details that, for you, make all the difference. At some point, this person was your confidant, the one you trusted to vent, to open your heart and show your most vulnerable side, without fear of being judged. And now, accepting that things will continue in an uncertain way, without knowing what's really going on in their life, is one of the hardest parts. The intensity of this bond, mixed with the uncertainty surrounding it, creates a weight, an energy that's difficult to bear. It's like navigating a sea of uncertainties, where what you want most is to be able to change the course of things, even though you know that's beyond your control. You often find yourself imagining what's going through this person's mind, what they're thinking, how they're feeling, what choices they're making. Your relationship seems shrouded in mystery, in a need for understanding that eludes you whenever you think you're close to grasping it. You find yourself trapped in thoughts, trying to understand, piecing together a puzzle that always seems incomplete. The sense of helplessness about what happened, combined with the intense desire to be close, makes everything even more complicated deeper. If you could, you'd certainly love to know what's going on in this person's mind, to uncover what they really feel, what they really want. Maybe, just maybe, if you could understand these feelings, you'd find a way back to the simplicity and understanding that existed before, when things were clearer and less painful. I understand perfectly how you feel, this mix of emotions, this constant doubt about how far it's safe to open up, to expose yourself, and how much you should reveal about yourself. It's like there's a wall between what you want to show and what you feel you need to hide, isn't it? And this isn't something you face alone. Many people go through this. The truth is, deep down, you know the road ahead may not be easy. There may be challenges, moments of uncertainty, but there's also the desire to face all of this together with the person you love. It's love that keeps you moving forward, even when things seem tough. And it's natural to wonder about this connection. Is it just physical attraction? Is it something fleeting, or is there something deeper, something real? It's important to remember that your feelings are valid. No, you're not imagining things. This person also has feelings for you, even if sometimes it's hard to believe, even if the world around you seems to create barriers that shouldn't exist. And then comes that feeling, you know? That nagging thought that maybe you need to change something about yourself to be loved. Maybe you've thought about changing your appearance, acting differently, trying to fit into an ideal that somehow seems more acceptable. But what you need to understand is that you don't need to change who you are to be loved. The frustration arises when you realize that despite all this love, things still aren't where you'd like them to be. You ask yourself, why are we still struggling to rebuild something that should already be solid? Why, if the love is so strong, do we have to go through so many difficulties? It's painful when we realize we're stuck in a situation that seems completely unfair, as if the universe is conspiring against us. The feeling of helplessness in the face of these circumstances is overwhelming, a weight that seems to grow every day, draining all our energy and hope. You might be feeling exhausted right now, overwhelmed by so many responsibilities and emotions that you can barely find a moment of peace to take a deep breath. Life is demanding too much of you and seems relentless. It's understandable to think you won't be able to endure much longer. Yet, something inside you still believes, still insists on not giving up. Because deep down, you know that all the love, all the dedication and energy you've poured into this can't be in vain. It's true, it may take time for the universe to finally recognize your efforts and reciprocate in the way you deserve, but that moment will come. It may be hard to believe now, in the midst of so much pain and chaos, but the seeds you've planted with so much care and effort will bloom, and the return will come, even if it seems distant. You and this person, this special connection you share, have gone through immense trials. You've faced moments that test the soul, that leave deep scars and pains that seem endless. These experiences, though painful, are also the ones that shape who you are, strengthen the connection you have, and make this bond something beyond the ordinary. And in the midst of this whirlwind of emotions, you found each other. Two paths that crossed unexpectedly, amidst all this chaos, almost as if it were a miracle, something that defies logic. You wonder why you didn't meet before, why you had to go through so much suffering before your paths crossed. This question may not have a clear answer now, but what matters is that despite everything, you found each other. And now that you have this chance, you're doing your best to make every second together count, even though it's hard not to think about the future. But deep down, the uncertainty still haunts you. Will this last? Will you be able to fulfill all those dreams you started building together? I know things seem unbearable right now, a constant pain that seems relentless. This internal struggle to not let desire take over everything is real and intense. The physical connection between you is something so strong that it seems impossible to explain. You feel it in every part of your being, as if it were etched into your skin. And it's this intensity that makes it so difficult to maintain balance, to prevent this overwhelming desire from becoming the center of your life. It's a daily struggle, an internal battle that seems never-ending, and I completely understand how hard it is to control these feelings that completely consume you, especially now, when everything seems even more complicated. I also know that someone, maybe you, is reflecting deeply on what happened. Thinking, how can I rebuild what we had? How can I fix what seems to have broken when I decided to take time for myself, to heal, to realign my mind, body, and soul? This thought doesn't leave you. It's like an inner voice that won't stop whispering, I want to start over, but I don't know how. It's a doubt that consumes you, that makes you question every step you've taken so far. And the truth is, you're not asking for much. It's not an impossible demand, and it's crucial that this is understood. If you're reading this and feel that this message speaks directly to you, know that your desires are valid. What you want is simple, something anyone in your place would want. A message, a sign, a word that shows you there's still something there. You just want to understand what's happening because deep in your heart, you know that this connection between you is still alive. It's real, it's strong, it's something that goes beyond what the eyes can see, something that transcends the ordinary. But I also know that deep down, you understand that maybe this person isn't ready to communicate right now. Maybe they need time, space to process their own feelings. And that hurts. It hurts because it doesn't diminish what you feel. It doesn't erase the truth that burns inside you. The truth that you're here, you're willing, you're open to listen, to understand, to embrace everything this person has to say. You're in a moment of deep waiting, where communication between you seems to be on the horizon, even if still shrouded in uncertainties. Deep down, you feel that there's something strong and unshakable guiding you, an almost visceral certainty that you won't give up on this person you love so much. And this is more than just hope, it's a conviction that this relationship is worth every second of waiting. Of course, the wait is painful, it consumes patience and sometimes seems endless, but something inside you screams that it's worth it, that this person is worth every minute of expectation. On the other side, the situation is complex. This person is fighting an internal battle, a deep conflict that prevents them from taking action. Their ego raises barriers, as if afraid to expose vulnerabilities, to let the difficult moments they've been through show. Maybe in your mind, you're thinking that none of this matters, that you're willing to welcome them with open arms without judgment. You've already made clear what you feel, you've shown that you're ready for reconciliation. The door has always been open, and you know this person is aware of that. They know that the love and acceptance you offer are sincere and genuine. However, fear also plays its part. Fear of losing, that all this effort will be in vain, that the relationship is nothing more than a fantasy. This person still thinks about you, dreams about you, and deep down in their thoughts, wants to be by your side. But right now, they are lost, confused about what they really want for themselves. They are enveloped in doubts, unable to discern what is better or worse for them. You, in turn, also feel the uncertainty, but there's something you understand: they are going through a tough time. They're not having fun, nor moving on as if nothing happened. On the contrary, the physical distance between you two weighs on them, even if they don't show it. They feel the absence, they feel the pain of being apart, but they're trapped in their own confusion. Still, your love and patience continue to be a light in the darkness. You're ready to receive them when they're ready, but you also respect the time they need. This is the greatest gesture of love you can offer, allowing them the necessary time to find their way back. Without pressure, without demands, just with the certainty that when they decide, you'll be there, as you always have been. This waiting, which is both painful and full of hope, only reinforces how important this person is to you. And in the end, what really matters is that you're willing to wait because you know it's worth it. Let your spirit absorb these words and feel them resonate deeply within you. The universe desires the best for you and will ensure a positive outcome, no matter what your decision may be. Type, "I receive and accept my destiny and all that the universe has to offer me" to claim this message and the blessings contained in it for you. Leave a positive comment for other viewers who might need a boost of positivity in their day. The universe sees this as an act of kindness. Let's lift each other up and create waves of good energy together. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and stay tuned for the important message that awaits you in the next video. May God and the universe illuminate your steps with peace, love, and faith. Amen.